We can simply sit here and enter a quick order, release it, and immediately everybody at the plant that is affected has that information at their fingertips to be able to start manufacturing, to start planning, or whatever it may require, And when our main cable got cut between the front office and the manufacturing buildings, we had to spend about a day of doing it the old way, and most of our sales staff admitted that we would never be able to do business without Paradigm the way we do it now. So it plays a huge role in what we do here.
Tell me a little bit about Graber Post and your services and what y'all offer.
Graber Post is a manufacturing and a post frame building supply company. We cover, most of the eastern half of the United States with all the, we're called the one-stop shop. So we have about everything that takes to build a post frame building. We manufacture, we roll form the metal panels. We manufacture the trims, we manufacture trusses, and we manufacture the nail lambs here on site.
So everything except growing the lumber, huh?
That is correct.
So what's your role there at Graber Post?
I'm sales manager here. I've been sales manager since 2015. So
do you all provide installation services as well, or are you materials only?
We do provide installation. We have 26 sub-crews that depend on us year-round for work. Most of them are 5-man crews, and we travel out about 2 to 2.5 hours from this location here in Montgomery.
I'd like to hear a little bit what the typical day looks like, especially how the Paradigm ERP, touches the different things that your team is doing day-to-day, day-to-day operations.
So we did utilize the Paradigm in 2016, November of 2016 when we started with it, and it completely changed the way we do our processes here. We started keeping track of our inventory. We started utilizing it to do our manufacturing with, to download our orders from front office to the machines. Now we have customers that we provide logins to the software from their facility online. They enter their own orders and release them to our salespeople. Our salespeople are then able to take a look at it and verify that everything looks correct. They release it in-house here to all the manufacturing. It has really streamlined our operation here as far as how we do business.
I assume it's primarily contractors that are using that login or that order submission feature. How many approximately would you say are using that on a regular basis?
I don't have an exact count, but I'm going to say it's between 60 and 80, somewhere in there.
That's a lot of phone calls saved then.
Absolutely. It's not a lot of keystrokes, a lot of phone calls saved, that's for sure.
And have you seen it helping the guys on the shop floor as well? And kind of how has it affected their role?
It has really helped the manufacturing process. The roll former operators can simply open their orders up. They're on their screen. All they have to do is review them, possibly split some bundles up, and drop them into the machine. And before the roll former operator had to type each line of the order in manually. Is the way we done it before. So it has helped streamline that. On the custom trim side, they can simply print out the tags. You have all the parameters of the piece of trim that you're going to bend is right on the tag there. So it's very simple and straightforward. And then on our loading side, the fulfillment side, we utilize that. We have a screen on all of our forklifts. So they simply pull up the order that they're getting ready to load and utilize the scanning system where we scan the tags and really helps the missing of the boxes, missing of the bundles, and we have really cut down on that side of it using the fulfillment software as well.
Are you using the inventory management features or like the coil tracking, coil management, delivery? If so, I guess how are you using those, and what does that kind of look like?
So yes, we are utilizing the lot coil lot tracked serialized lots. Every coil we have here in the inventory is identified, and I can easily pull up, and look at each and every coil that we have in our inventory here at any given time. So that has really helped keep our inventory a lot closer. And matter of fact, very close on our coils, which is our biggest part of our inventory here at Great Post. And then as far as the deliveries go, we are able to utilize the tablets that the drivers take out. They put the information at their fingertips on the tablet as far as addresses, contacts, maps, and when they get to the point where they get the load offloaded, they can take some photos of the drop, save those to the order, and those have been very, very useful when discrepancies come up or you need to look back at the order.
You've been doing this for almost a decade now at Great Post, I guess. I'm curious, have you seen the industry change over that time period? What's changed in terms of market demands or production requirements? And I guess how has the Paradigm ERP helped Great Post adjust to some of those changes?
I guess technology has been the biggest change I've seen in my 20 some years here at Great Post. We used to spend hours on the phone taking orders. Customers read the orders off line by line. You'd have to go back and make copies, send them to the roll former. Roll formers at keystroke to enter them. And the sales representatives would have to manually enter them in the system. And so now that side of it, most of our customers are able to enter their own orders, and everything else flows from there. So that's the big change there that Paradigm has helped in a huge way for Great Post standpoint. And the other big change that the industry has seen in that amount of time is the time that you have to turn everything around. I mean, you simply, at today's world, I call it a microwave society. So everything has to happen immediately, and we are able to do that with Paradigm. We can simply sit here and enter a quick order, release it, and immediately everybody at the plant that is affected has that information at their fingertips to be able to start manufacturing, to start planning, or whatever it may require.
What's your best guess in terms of turnaround time? Like, what was it 20 years ago, and what would you say average turnaround time is now?
I can recall some of our big customers would spend 45 minutes to an hour and a half on the phone giving you orders, and then once you got that done, you had to start making copies and then walk the orders all over the plant physically. And now some of those customers are able to enter that order, release it to you, and within 10 minutes you could have that order released and can be in everybody's hands in the plant. So the turnaround time could be as an hour and a half, 90 minutes quicker than it was 20 years ago. Also there's always problems arise. You're missing product, or you're questioning about this or that. I could simply jump into the software, dig into that order. I could quickly tell exactly when the order was ran, right down to the second. I can see if there was any stoppages in the machine while it was running. In a matter of a minute or two, I can answer a lot of questions for a customer when he calls and has discrepancies or has questions.
Yeah, because I can imagine in the old way of doing things, I mean, you had 4 or 5 points of manual entry where things could get mistyped or lost, or so many points of data loss, and now it's all tied together in one system from the customer's point of entry if they're using the portal straight through to delivery and fulfillment. So Was Paradigm the first ERP that Graver Post used, or had you tried any other tools in the past?
We had a previous ERP that we utilized from 2002 to 2016, and we didn't utilize it to its fullest capacity. It didn't have near the options or the capacity that where Paradigm currently offers us, obviously. But yes, it got us by, but that was just about it. And most of that was just on the accounting side, nothing to do with manufacturing.
So it was much more accounting focused and didn't extend to all the fulfillment and production pieces. Is that what ultimately made you decide to go with Paradigm, or how did you make the decision to choose Paradigm?
We looked at several different softwares when we was trying to make a decision which way we was going to go, and Paradigm just seemed to be more suited for every aspect of our business. They didn't have all those areas covered in the very beginning, but they was so responsive, and everything that we went to them with, we had answers and we had responses very quickly. So that played a huge role in us choosing Paradigm.
If you had to kind of narrow down the list of all the features that it has, which one or two would you say are the most beneficial to your team?
I would say fulfillment and how we can capture all the information from start to finish. And then also the trim drawing tool is a huge a feature that I don't know how many other ERPs out there offer that part of it, but that's a big part of what we do here, and it simplifies that a lot.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat feature. Very very industry specific, but very cool to see it in action. So I know this is probably very hard to estimate, but I wonder if you have any clue on like a monthly or an annual basis, how many man hours you're saving with the tool, or how much it's saving you in a given year from a productivity perspective.
It's very hard to estimate that, or I wouldn't have a good educated guess. But I do know that we was reminded of how the old way was so difficult and labor intensive, as when our main cable got cut between the front office and the manufacturing buildings. We had to spend about a day of doing it the old way, and most of our sales staff admitted that we would never be able to do business without Paradigm the way we do it now. So it plays a huge role in what we do here.
That's amazing. Yeah. Sometimes we need the little technology breakdowns to kind of remind us how good we have it, right?
That's exactly right.
You touched on this briefly. Just curious, your experience working with the Paragon team at large. How has that been from a responsiveness perspective, or just user feedback? What can you say about working with their team?
In the very beginning, like I said, Paragon didn't have solutions for everything that we've done at Graver Post. So one of it was the handling the contract sales that we do, and the job costing and that sort of thing. But they sat down with our team and figured out what we needed to do to make that work, and how to tie it in with all the rest of our business here. And they quickly got on that part of it and built that for us. And I don't remember the time frame, but it was done for us in a very quick manner. And our previous ERP, it seemed like when we asked for something to be done, it took as long for them to answer us whether they could do it or not. And Paradigm, at that amount of time, Paradigm would have it done and back to us. And that's the way it is today. We need a report, or we need something else built to help our business out here. Most often in a day's time, we have an answer of whether they can do it or not, and they can give us a price on it. And everything is very responsive, and that's in technology world, that's you just don't run into that very often.
Any thoughts from you on how the software could be further improved or customized? I know you said you're pretty quick to reach out to them if you have those ideas, but I don't know if you have any outstanding ideas at the moment.
I think the online portal would be the one area that it could be. I mean, it works fine. It could just be a little bit more user friendly on the online side of things, and I think that's on their list of things that they're going to work on eventually here. But that's the one thing I can think of right now. That would be it.
Good, great feedback. Looking ahead for Graber Post, what's next for you all?
I would say probably the next thing that we would probably look at as far as big changes would be whether we go into adding locations rather than just operating out of one location here.
Have you talked with the Paradigm team yet about like a multi-location implementation, or do you expect to utilize something like that?
We have not spoken to them about that. I do know that they have features and ways to handle that, and at some point we'd probably enter some conversation about that.
That's all I have. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk.
Well, thank you very much, and hopefully I can help you out today and got you the information you're looking for.
Absolutely. No, it's been great. I really appreciate your time, Ken.